You probably think all hot dogs taste basically the same, just tubes of mystery meat that exist purely as vehicles for mustard and relish, right? Wrong. The gap between the worst and best hot dog brands is shockingly massive. We're talking marshmallow meat versus actual food. Some brands are banking on you being too broke, too busy, or too nostalgic to notice they're serving you compressed disappointment. Others actually respect your taste buds. So let's talk about the 8 hot dog brands that will either save your cookout or ruin your summer, ranked from absolute disasters to legitimate champions. Because life's too short to waste your grocery budget on hot dogs that taste like cardboard dipped in salt water. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously regrettable food choices. Brand number 8, Bar's Classic Franks. At number 8, our absolute rock bottom, we have Bar's Classic Franks. The hot dog that exists because poverty exists, not because anyone actually recommends them. Owned by Sigma Foods and dominating dollar stores since the 1960s, Bar S is America's #1 selling brand. But that statistic is as depressing as the product itself. Here's what you get: mechanically separated chicken, turkey, pork, beef hearts, water, and corn syrup. The texture is marshmallow meat. Your teeth sink through like wet bread with zero resistance. The interior has this grainy, paste-like consistency that coats your mouth. They stay room temperature even when hot. The taste is bland with unnatural sweetness. Reddit users call them like eating marshmallow meat and mystery meat dogs at their worst. At under $1.50 per pack, you're paying 15 to 18 cents per hot dog, cheaper than ground beef trim, but the taste failure is inexcusable. Bar's dominates through its accessibility at dollar stores and gas stations. They're counting on food insecurity and convenience, which means zero incentive to improve. At 15 cents per hot dog, you're paying to teach your taste buds what regret feels like. But if you think that texture is disturbing, wait until you see what's coming next. Brand number 7, FUD Hot Dogs. Coming in at number 7, we have FUD, a brand so universally despised that Reddit users describe them as absolutely horrific and disturbing to my core. Owned by the same parent company as Bar S, FUD targets Hispanic communities while delivering rubbery disappointment. At $2.50 to $3 per pack, you're paying more than Bar S for possibly an even worse experience. The texture is rubbery and bouncy like a stress ball. The surface has this slick, slimy quality even after cooking. When fried, they develop dark burn-like spots. The taste is bland, off-putting, and artificial. One Reddit user wrote, "They are absolutely horrific, and the way they look in the frying pan is disturbing me to my core." Another said, "Second worst hot dog I've ever had the displeasure of, biting into and then promptly spitting into a napkin." FUD exists in a protected niche where cultural brand recognition trumps quality. They're targeting first-generation immigrants who buy based on nostalgia, placed in ethnic aisles where customers won't see English language warnings online. You're paying $3 for hot dogs that people literally spit into napkins. When multiple people describe your product as disturbing, you've made a warning label. Brand number 6, Jennie-O Turkey Franks. Landing at number 6, Jennie-O Turkey Franks represent the dangers of health marketing over actual food quality. Available at major chains for $3 to $4, they're positioned as the healthier choice that sacrifices everything good about hot dogs for marginal nutritional gains. What you're getting: mechanically separated turkey, water, corn syrup, salt, and shockingly little seasoning. The texture is dense and compact with no snap. The interior is dry enough to absorb saliva, creating a chalky cotton mouth sensation. The lack of casing means uniform dryness from edge to center. The taste is painfully bland with no spices. One reviewer said these are trying really hard to be a good hot dog, but mostly failing. The nutrition shows lower fat, but comparable sodium. Victories only on paper. Jennie-O launched these to complete their product line, not because they perfected the recipe. They're banking on the health halo effect. Customers see turkey and assume quality transfers. At $4, you're paying for compressed turkey so dry it requires a beverage to swallow, when the healthiest thing about your hot dog is that you'll never want another one. That's not wellness, that's aversion therapy. If this is already helping you make better hot dog choices, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Brand number 5, Oscar Mayer Classic Wieners. At number 5, we hit Oscar Mayer Classic Wieners, the hot dog your childhood. Love because your childhood had terrible taste. Founded in 1883 and immortalized by that jingle and the Wienermobile, Oscar Mayer trades entirely on nostalgia, while delivering what reviewers describe as tube-shaped meat mousse. The texture has zero snap. Teeth just sink through without resistance. The interior is paste-like with a mealy, grainy sensation, like wet cardboard pulp. It leaves a greasy film on your mouth. The taste is overly salty with a sweet front end. One reviewer said it tasted like way more than the 460 milligrams of sodium listed. At $3.50 to $4.50 per pack, you're paying mid-range pricing for bottom-tier texture. The Wienermobile costs millions annually, but generates just enough awareness to justify continued corner cutting on the actual product. Here's the thing, they know customers won't buy twice based on taste, so they need constant new customers driven by that jingle. At $4 per pack, you're paying for that childhood memory only to discover the memory was better than the hot dog ever was. When the best thing about your hot dog is a 60-year-old jingle, you're not selling food, you're selling nostalgia. But here's where it gets tricky. Not every disappointing hot dog can blame budget constraints. Brand number 4, Ballpark Classic Franks. Number 4 is Ballpark Classic Franks, proving that a great name can't save a mediocre product. With roots at Detroit's Tiger Stadium in 1959, this brand had authenticity before Tyson Foods decided heritage was less important than profit margins. The texture is flabby and limp when raw. During cooking, the casing separates from meat, creating air pockets that bobble and burst. The result is watery juicy, liquid release, not fat juiciness. They're inconsistent, some plump, others stay limp and develop blackened spots. The taste is bland and underspiced, lacking crucial smoky and garlicky notes. One reviewer called it the kind of hot dog you'd be into when you're so drunk you'd eat a shoe if it had ketchup and mustard on it. At $3.50 to $5, you're paying mid to upper range for mid to lower quality. The brand name evokes stadium nostalgia, but Tyson has severed the connection between heritage promise and product delivery. They're banking on default purchases from customers who grab what's familiar. You're paying $5 for hot dogs squirting cooking water, not flavorful fat. When your defining characteristic is fickle and the best compliment is not disgusting, you're creating regrets with relish. Brand number 3, Applegate Organic Uncured Beef Hot Dog. At number 3, we hit Applegate Organic Uncured Beef Hot Dog, the most controversial on this list because it's either the best you've tasted or a metallic, chewy disappointment. Made with 100% organic grass-fed beef and the cleanest ingredient list you'll find, this is the hot dog your conscience loves. At the catch, $6 to $8 per pack, and whether your taste buds love it depends on grass-fed beef's gamey, mineral-forward flavor. The texture is polarizing. Detractors describe leathery, tough casing, requiring jaw effort, and lingering metallic minerality. Supporters describe genuine snap, richer mouthfeel, and substantial density reading as real meat. And get this, taste is equally divisive. Chowhound ranked it dead last, metallic and artificial with very chewy mouthfeel. But Amazon reviewers love it. These were delicious. I don't think they make a better hot dog. Here's the thing, grass-fed beef's gamey notes are documented biology. Grain-fed beef trained American palates to expect mild, fatty flavor. Applegate isn't trying to win ballpark customers. They're creating a separate category charging 2 to 3 times more, selling a story about farms and planetary impact. The polarization is a feature. They'd rather have fierce loyalty from 30% than mild approval, from 70%. At $8, you're paying for your values as much as dinner. This hot dog forces you to decide, do you want what's better for the planet or the taste that your childhood trained you to expect? You can't have both, and if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Brand number 2, Hebrew National Beef Franks. Coming in at number 2, Hebrew National Beef Franks represent 120 years of kosher tradition translating into consistent, reliable quality. Founded in 1905 with that famous tagline, "We answer to a higher authority," Hebrew National has outlasted competitors through unwavering commitment to kosher standards that double as quality control. The texture is firm but yielding with a gentle snap. Juices are contained, releasing slowly rather than squirting. The mouthfeel is clean with no greasy film. The taste is simple, well-balanced beef flavor with mild. Seasoning solid and satisfying, though some say it needs more punch. At $4.50 to $6 per pack, you're paying 75 cents to $1 per hot dog. The nutrition shows 150 calories, 440 to 470 milligrams sodium. Customer sentiment uses words like reliable, consistent, and quality, though rarely exciting. The real kicker is this: they're boxed into the middle. Can't get cheaper without losing kosher shoppers. Can't get more premium without losing mainstream appeal. So they perfect consistency and reliability instead of chasing flavor innovation. At $5 per pack, you're getting 120 years of tradition that translates into a hot dog that won't disappoint but won't blow your mind either. When reliable is your highest compliment, you've made a very good hot dog, just not a great one. Which is why there's still one spot above this. But here's where we finally hit hot dog perfection. Brand. Number 1, Nathan's famous skinless beef franks. And at number 1, the undisputed champion. Nathan's famous skinless beef franks prove that over a century of expertise actually means something. Founded in 1916 by Polish immigrant Nathan Handwerker at Coney Island, this isn't just a hot dog, it's an American institution that survived by refusing to compromise on the recipe. When Consumer Reports, Chowhound, and Food Republic all independently crown Nathan's as best, it's not coincidence. It's 108 years of not cutting corners. The texture is the Goldilocks standard. The snap is audible even in skinless variety. The interior is juicy with fine, uniform grain. Fat is evenly distributed, creating smooth, luxurious mouthfeel. The finish is clean with no lingering greasiness. The taste is rich, full, beefy flavor with subtle spice blend. Smoky, garlicky, savory notes all present and balanced. It stands up to aggressive toppings, but here's what makes it special. It's supremely delicious served completely plain. One reviewer called it the Goldilocks of hot dogs. Crisp skin, subtle spice, uniform texture, and juicy. At $5 to $7 per pack, you're paying 60 to 90 cents per hot dog. Cheaper than Applegate, comparable to Hebrew National. Nathan's Famous is publicly traded now, but the hot dog division remains the crown jewel. The original Coney Island location serves as both business and ongoing R&D center. They've resisted every temptation to launch budget lines or cut costs because they understand brand equity depends entirely on maintaining quality. The famous July 4th eating contest generates millions in free publicity while reinforcing authenticity. At $6 per pack, you're getting the gold standard, the hot dog all others are measured against and consistently fail to match. When supremely delicious served plain is legitimate and not marketing hyperbole, you've achieved something rare, a mass-produced product that actually lives up to its legendary status. Turns out the best hot dog isn't the one with the fanciest label or the lowest price. It's the one that actually tastes like food. At the bottom, Bar S and FUD prove that some bargains cost you more than money. They cost you dignity and taste buds. At the top, Nathan's Famous shows what happens when you spend 108 years refusing to compromise. Here's what you need to know. Don't be fooled by nostalgia. Sorry, Oscar Mayer. Don't assume turkey means healthy. Jennie-O proves otherwise. And don't pay premium prices for polarizing flavors unless you're certain grass-fed beef is your thing. The sweet spot is simple. Hebrew National if you want reliable kosher quality. Nathan's Famous if you want the best hot dog in America. And if you've got a Costco membership, Kirkland Signature gives you Nathan's level quality at Bar's prices. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll buy hot dogs and drop a comment telling us which brand you think we got wrong, because I guarantee someone out there is defending their childhood favorite right now.